I'm going to just read from Acts chapter 22. I'm going to read verse 3 and 4. I want you to see the zeal that Paul has, but yet he's going to recognize in time that it's not according to knowledge. Now, as he's sharing his testimony, he begins to say this in Acts 22, verse 3. I am indeed a Jew, born in Tarsus of Gamaliel, or born in Tarsus of Cilicia, but brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, taught according to the strictness of our father's law, and was zealous towards God as you all are today. You understand? Man, I had zeal. I loved the Lord. I wanted a devotion to God, a sincerity in my religion. And then he says this in verse 4, and I persecuted the way to the death. You understand? He missed it. He had a zeal, but he missed the big picture. And he said, binding them and delivering into prisons both men and women. And so when we take a look at just what this zeal does and how that zeal begins to work, there's a passage, you know it when we went through Matthew chapter 23, but I just wanted to share with you the one verse here because I think it's important in looking at what zeal does and how zeal can sometimes have you miss the big picture. Remember we're in Matthew 23:23? What happens is this, the Lord is pronouncing woes upon the Pharisees. But he says this, and verse 23 is really a key to understanding and where zeal without scripture kind of holds true to this. He says in Matthew 23:23, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay the tithe of mint and anise and cumin and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faith. These you ought to have done without leaving the others undone. Now understand, in their zeal for their devotions, they would, when they put salt or pepper on their food, whoop, stop, put on a plate. 9 goes to me, 1 goes to God. 9 goes to me, 1 goes to God. And they would literally, and you take a look at it, you pay the tithe of mint and anise and cumin. You tithe your spices. Now that's zealous. That's intricate zealousness. Do you understand how person has to really be driven to do this? And he says, although you do the zeal in the minutia, he says this, you've neglected the weightier matters. So you have a zeal that shows in the minutia, but you miss the big picture. You've neglected justice, mercy, and faith.